don't suppose there's any point in my asking you to leave this at home.
I've got a free afternoon. How'd I get back? District line doesn't come out this far.
Well, all right, but it is not a free afternoon, Luke. It's study leave, so make sure you do some.
Yeah. Darling, you won't be late tonight, will you?
Tonight?
The committee meeting?
Oh, no. Oh, you don't need me.
Of course we do. We need someone to take the minutes. I thought we said that we weren't going to let him use that bike anymore for school.
Have you seen the Hot and Courier? Horrible sight first thing in the morning.
That's an old photograph, isn't it? He doesn't even have a moustache. Looks like a boiled egg.
Oh, listen to this. Local auctioneer and antiques dealer Eric Pollard, whose wife Elizabeth perished in the recent air crash, recently unveiled a bench commemorating her memory in the churchyard at Beckendale. Going to Sheffield today?
No, I don't think so. Neither Chris nor I enjoyed the experience.
Why? What's wrong?
The last time I saw him, he accused me of running his life. Said I could really push him around now. In a wheelchair.
Oh, no.
It was Michael's fault.
Moment's recklessness, that's all. And Joe's determined not to let him forget.
Well, it could have been serious. Donna was very lucky.
The trouble is, Michael thinks Joe's got it in for him because of all that business between you and him in Leeds, you know?
I thought all that was behind us. It's a mess, isn't it?
Well, look, I was wondering if you could have a word with them both.
Jack, are you going to get ready? We don't want to rush.
Yeah, I'm just coming, love. Could you do that?
Rachel Hughes, bridge builder. Yeah, I'll talk to them.
Thank you.
Nobody has done more for him than you have. And I don't just mean money, love, support, understanding. You've given him all that.
You do these things because you want the best for your kids.
You didn't do them for me.
I didn't think I needed to. You're so self-dependent, so sure of where you were heading. You had no doubts about becoming a vet?
Oh, I did remember. The year before I graduated, you told me to pull my socks up and stop being so stupid.
I remember. I'm sorry.
He's been using you all these years because he knew you'd be there to bail him out. If he didn't like it, he could have left. But he didn't, because he's too scared to let go of your hand.
I should have been firmer with him.
Yes, I think you should have.
I've been supporting the wrong one, haven't I? I should be doing more for you.
No, Dad. Things are fine the way they are. Let's not disturb the equilibrium, eh?
If you say so.
I knew that would happen. As soon as I put this silly stuff on, I knew I'd be naught but a laughing stock.
Zoe, what do you have to do that for? Seth?
What, McAllister?
Yeah.
Is that your sister at 5th?
Jessica? Yeah, why?
She's a bit of our age, eh?
Keep your eyes off. Besides, she's in love with this geek called Danny. He's at university.
University types. And eating for breakfast.
Trouble with Fowler?
Biff? No, he's no problem. In fact, he's all right. Quite like him.
What are you doing?
Mr. Young from Catterick is coming over for it.
This is a shop, not a scrapyard.
And this is 50 quid. I've just been fined, remember?
Okay, if you'd just like to take a seat, please.
You don't have to wait.
Of course I do.
It's silly, I could be ages. Go and see your mum while we're here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I'll be all right.
Well, all right.
Go on, then. Laugh at me.
What for?
Because of where I look.
That for the heritage farm, is it? You look great.
Told you to say that, didn't he?
Who?
Frank Tate, he put you up to it. I'm not daft, you know.
Oh, hello, sir. I like the outfit.
You're all in it together, aren't you?
It's worse, he gets older.
Sorry about that. It's not supposed to be here.
First or second?
First, please. I've got mine to cancel my order for that paper. Have you seen it?
Yeah, we're just reading it. Doesn't look anything like him. Must have been a photo taken in his youth.
Hmm?
We are talking about the same thing. Eric Pollard.
No, I was talking about the advertisement for the male dance group for appearing at the sports club bar.
The Nobbies. Sounds like funny. That's $1.90, please. Just what this place needs. A bit of life.
Yes, I might have guessed you comers in would have no feeling for the tone of the village. But you needn't get your hopes up. I'm going to have it stopped.
That one's due in about a fortnight. All going well. Mind you, the way things are happening around here.
Yeah, it's a pity about Donna's accident.
Pity? It's downright stupid. Michael's been on farms all his life. He knows there's things you do and things you don't do. And one thing you don't do is let a kid ride in a tractor with you. On top of all that, we've got 2 legal suits. Sarah's been called as a witness against me. I mean, it's as if she hasn't got enough on her plate.
It's a real mess, isn't it?
It certainly is. And it's all Michael's making. I tell you, if it wasn't for Jack, I'd have kicked him out.
It's a bit early to be pacing about.
What did they say?
The baby's fine and well. There's nothing to worry about. It's just slowing down a bit, preparing to be born. Everything's absolutely normal.
So much for Joe's theory. Curse of the Sugdens.
165,000, and I'll pay all your legal expenses.
If you saw my annual legal bill... Ah, Seth.
No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm sick of folk laughing at me.
You've upset him good and proper.
I'll make it up to him when he's calmed down a bit.
170,000, and I can complete within a fortnight?
Not in that much of a hurry.
It would be cash.
Nope.
Sure I can't tempt you?
Only with 185,000.
Here, I'm not wearing them.
Ah, Seth! How'd you get on at the solicitors?
I'll tell you about it later.
Have you got your car here?
Yes.
Right, you give me a lift at Woolpack. Have a throat like a tram driver's glove. Come on.
You gay?
Apparently.
Do you fancy a coffee?
Yeah, why not? You know, Lynn's made an offer for the place.
Have you accepted?
Not yet. She hasn't made the right offer. But I get a feeling she will, though.
She'll want to move in pretty quickly, though.
That depends if we ever manage to reach an agreement.
Thing is, Frank, I've got to find somewhere to live for Alice and me if I want to improve my chances of keeping her. And, well, I was wondering if... How would you feel about me renting the old oak nursery?
Well, I'll have to talk to Kim first. We got 1 or 2 ideas for that place. Let me get back to you on it. What did the solicitor say?
Said that it's going to be at least 3 months before it gets to court. And until then, just carry on as normal.
Ah, that's good, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, it'll give you a chance to get your case together.
Yeah. Gives Elsa more chance, too, doesn't it?
No.
What are you going on about?
Oh, these stupid furniture people. They've only delivered 4 chairs and 2 tables. I've apologised to Joe. I don't know what else I can do.
Why don't you try explaining what happened to him?
Oh, no, not until he calms down a bit. To be honest, I've got more important things to worry about.
Like what?
Like Pollard and what he did to me mother.
Yeah, well, that was my wife, actually, Mrs. Turner. Yes, well, you've only delivered part of the order. Yeah, we put the order in ages ago. I ordered 40 chairs and 20 tables. Well, you've left out all the noughts. Yeah, well, will you look into it, please, and bring me back? Thank you. Oh, it's absurd. You put your order in months in advance, and then what happens? The wretched computer, all by itself, leaves out all the noughts.
Did you see Eric's picture in the courier this week?
Yeah, very moving. He thinks he's in the clear, but he's not. I'm not going to give up.
Oh, Michael.
Look, I know you think it's a figment of my imagination, but I went along for therapy like everybody said I should, and I am not balmy.
Well,
couple of sessions. Michael, you've always had it in for Eric. Ever since him and your mother started going out. You hated him for it.
Honest, Rachel, there's more to it than that. I know it.
Tables and chairs. You would think they were the easiest things in the world to get hold of. Seems everybody is conspiring to ruin my reopening.
Yeah, and another thing. I went to see Mum's solicitor yesterday about her will. She was intestate. He gets everything, just as he planned.
And how do you know that?
I just do.
No, you don't. Look, and until you do, I just suggest you shut up. You're getting me down.
According to my solicitor, Elsa's gone to Victoria Mason and Partners in Leeds.
I know them.
Oh, well, I thought they were for women only.
They are. Kim used them for the divorce. I used to dread their letters dropping on the doormat. Tough lot.
This isn't about whether a man or a woman should just bring up a child. It's about whether who's best suited, me or Elsa.
Nature versus nurture, really.
She walked out on Alice over 2 years ago. Said she wasn't capable of looking after her. That I was the best person to do that.
People change, Nick. So do their views. You have to take that into account. A lawyer certainly will.
I was the best person then, Frank, and I'm still the best person now. And I'm going to fight Elsa every inch of the way to prove it.
If he doesn't get the right care now, in later life... Oh. Listen, I've had a word with the therapist. Now, she assures me that whatever Scott says during the sessions, no matter what, it goes no further.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. And you got my word on that as well. Little by little, we're all on the mend. It would be better if he continued with his therapy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I was playing that, you know. I used to be quite useful at Ivory's.
If you could find some roles for it, that would be useful.
I'll sniff around. Have you seen Courier this week? The nobbies.
It's disgraceful.
Absolutely. Disgraceful. It's terrible. What time does it start, did it say?
Seth, we've got to talk about this.
I'm not dressing up as a gormless twerp, and that's that. We'll have to dress as flaming Vikings next to get a drink.
Nick told you about Victoria Mason?
Oh, I was just doing it now.
You know.
It's a left-wing feminist practice. They're supposed to be very good, the right kind of case. Feckless absent fathers.
Alan, can I just have a quick word with you before the meeting? What would you say to Dermot being on the committee?
I'd be delighted, but there isn't room for him, is there?
Yeah, well, there might be.
They've done some fine work for their clients. Difficult rape cases, harassment in the workplace. They're high profile, and they're very political. They'll want to make some points of principle out of a case like this.
Like what?
Woman's right to bring up her own child.
Great.
Best you know what you're up against, Nick.
Well, I do think we should wait and see if Councillor Jones and Miss Forsyth do turn up first.
Yes, well, obviously. But if they don't, I think we should boot them off and elect Dermot instead. Now, I've spoken to Frank, and he's all for it.
Oh, well, in that case... Yes, I think we ought to get going. There's a big agenda to get through, and I've got a very important point that I wish to raise.
I wonder what that can be.
They're late. Sorry.
Are you sure it'll be all right for me to sit in here until they get to my item?
Of course.
Well, I know how touchy people can get when they're on committees. We had one once to try and get the village twinned.
That's a good idea. What happened?
Well, they couldn't even work out who was going to be on the committee.
Oh. That sounds like them now. Couldn't tear themselves away from the bar, no doubt. We were just about to send out a search party.
Sorry, darling, you know how it is. No sign of Councillor Jones or Miss Forsyth then?
Weren't they in the pub?
No, they weren't. Can I call the meeting to order? So...
Would you like me to read the minutes of the last meeting?
I think we'll take them as read, shall we? Any objections?
Nope.
No. Right. And apologies for absence, there are none. Which brings me to the point of Councillor Jones and Miss Forsyth.
They seem to have lost interest in us as quickly as the media.
So I say let's get rid of them. And let's vote somebody onto the committee who has actually got an interest in the village.
Mr. Chairman, a point of order. Is it right to discuss this with Jack in the room?
Oh, no, I don't think that's any problem, Alan.
Darling, have you got everybody that's here?
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Lynn Whiteley, Dermot Bishop.
As an advisor.
Right, let's get on.
Right, I propose we sack Councillor Jones and Miss Forsyth from the committee.
All in favour?
Alan?
Well, I'm not sure that we can. I think as a local advisory committee, all we can do is advise the trustees.
Yes, but it's unlikely they'd go against your recommendations. After all, you are the people on the spot.
Right, all in favour?
Well, this hasn't been seconded.
Too fast.
You say, can't we do away with all this bureaucracy?
Yeah, no, Frank, no, it's important that we do things properly.
Yes, Frank, at some point in the future, these minutes may be called into public account.
He's right, actually.
I will second it, and I agree with it. Everybody? Alan? Carried unanimously.
In their places, I would like to nominate Dermot.
Seconded.
Me?
I think he's more than proved his commitment for doing what's best for this community, and after the way he volunteered his services, completely gratis, to help Vic Windsor, well, I say we elect him.
Hang on. We should do this properly, without Dermot in the room. Sorry, Dermot.
I don't think that's necessary.
No, I'm happy.
There has been some previous discussion, Lynn.
Without me?
Afraid so.
Well, what do you say?
Well, if you're sure that I'm right for the job.
We're sure.
In that case, I accept.
Right. Well, shall we move on to the first item in the agenda proper?
So much for doing things properly.
It's trouble. Doesn't do anything.
Have you seen this? Eric Pollard plastered all up courier.
Yeah, horrible, isn't it?
Must be 8 years old. He's not got a moustache.
He looks like a peeled orange.
The third item is a vote of thanks to Eric Pollard for the Elizabeth Pollard Memorial Bench. But perhaps we'd better take Mr. Sugden now, as he has been waiting.
Right. As there's already been enough time wasted, I'll come to the point. You all know what happened to Ma. She's now in a coma. We were wondering if we were to move her into a hospice, she might get better round-the-clock care. It might help bring her back to us.
Oh, just a minute, Jack, just a minute. Now, your mother is not going to get any better care than she's already receiving in an NHS hospital. Now, in my opinion, the fund can use its resources to much better advantage.
Right. It's clear you want me to beg. So beg I will. But we lost Mark and Leonard in that plane crash. We lost animals, we lost land, we lost a car. We're having to pay all the bills for Ma's cottage, and now we're facing being sued because of this tractor accident. We've had to fork out and hire another one. We've taken a loan from Frank to set up our shop at the Heritage Farm. That's got to be paid back. We've even had to feed Samson. That horse has got a huge appetite. Look, I'm telling you, if we don't get help, we're going to go under. Emmerdale will end up just another abandoned farm.
Thank you, Jack. I think we all appreciate how difficult it must have been for you to come here this evening. And personally, I'd like to apologise for keeping you waiting.
Jack, what about your mother, though? She must have some money of her own.
Oh, aye. But without going through a long and expensive process to gain power of attorney, there's no way we can touch it.
Yes, and power of attorney can be a complicated area.
You do know, Jack, that we do want to help you as much as we can. But perhaps you'd better leave it with us now and let us discuss it.
Aye, okay. Thanks.
Well, if there's anything I can do, just let me know.
Yeah, there is one thing. Would you mind having a word with your dad about letting me the old nursery?
Have you mentioned it to him?
Yeah, but he said he's going to have a word with Kim. Apparently they've got some plans for it.
Have they?
Nick. It's Seth.
Where are they all?
There's a meeting at Trustees at Village Hall.
Ah. Well, I expect my name will be on the agenda.
Why's that, then?
In connection with the memorial seat.
Oh, aye, that. I see Courier's done a bit of a splash about it.
Was it? Well, I hope they spelt my name correctly.
I don't see why we should have to pay for the tractor. It's got nothing to do with the plane crash. And Samson could have gone anywhere.
Look, I'm sorry. It is all part of their general problem. That's a direct cause of that aircraft coming down.
As I have said before, I am sorry, but I cannot support paying for Annie Kempinski to go into a private hospital.
Is that a political decision?
No, Lynn, that's a pragmatic one.
Bear in mind, if we don't help them, the Sugdens could go under. Now, I'm not sure I want that on my conscience.
I don't mean to be insensitive, Frank, but we have to maintain an objective viewpoint.
I don't think we're going to get a consensus on this, so perhaps we should just put it to the vote.
No. I'm sorry, but we're not ready to decide. We're going to have to take further discussions, but not tonight. We need to sit down with Jack and Joe and work out exactly what their requirements are, taking into account the objections of Lynn and Bernard.
Right. Look, it is getting late. I propose that we move the rest of the items on the agenda to the next meeting. Now, is there any other business?
Well, just a moment. I do have a very important point to raise. Something that affects the whole of the village. On Thursday, I shall be reopening the Woolpack after extensive refurbishment. As a focal point for the community, the pub's role, I think, is indispensable.
Get to the point, Alan.
Well, the point is that she is employing a group of male strippers to appear at the sports club bar on the very same night.
What do you say to this, Lynn?
It's absolutely true. But I am donating 50% of the night's takings to the appeal fund.
You didn't tell me that?
Didn't I? I meant to.
Perhaps we should give Lynn a vote of thanks, Alan.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I shall devote 75% of my takings on my opening night.
It's most generous.
75%? Well...
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean 75%. I mean 100%. All of it. Everything.
Hello, Michael. Rachel. You may have got your picture in the paper, but you don't fool me. I know. Picture? What picture? This was taken before. Where did they get this from? I gave it him.
Idiot!